Kayla Thornton is out for the season after having surgery on her right knee the other day. Apparently, it happened in practice right after the All-Star break. First and foremost, I just feel bad for her when you look at how she's worked her way to this spot in her career. Her first All-Star game, 32 years old. She's very reliant on her physical attributes, right? Her speed, her strength, her motor. And look, in 2025, I'm assuming it's an ACL. Again, they didn't say anything. It's been kind of fishy. The timeline of the injury, was her knee hurt during the I don't know. Because there is a history of women playing through ACLs and not knowing that the ACL, and it doesn't matter because it is what it is now. But, prayers out to Kayla for a full recovery. And what I was getting at was in 2025, it's not, she can come back just as strong, but it's going to probably cost her a full season if she hurt it at this point, and she has been the heart and soul, the leader of this Valkyries team. And it's a huge blow to the Valkyries. Mo Billings sprains her ankle, I guess, in this same practice. What are they doing in practice? Right? I guess I get that the Valkyries are dogs and the Kase is breeding dogs, but dang. So no Kayla, no Mo Billings. This Dallas Wings team comes into Chase Center, and there was some rust, I think, from both sides from the All-Star break. And this Wings team, I think it might be the youngest team in the league. I know Washington's really young, but they're starting 3 rookies, including Paige Beckers. And, we turned the ball over a ton in that first quarter. 6 first quarter turnovers, a lot of them on post-entry passes. And listen, I'll say it's harder to pass it to the post in the W than the NBA, but no one post passes in the NBA anyway, right? But why I'd say that is I think the catch radius is limited as opposed to in the men's game where you can kind of just put it up and they can go high point it. A lot of the times with the post passes in the women's game, you kind of got to put it on their hand. And there's so much physicality and dislodging, it can lead to turnovers. Chechi gets the start on Paige Beckers in place of Kayla and did a pretty good job on her. I think that is the blueprint with dealing with Paige is you got to put size on her. She's not twitchy, right? She's not going to blow by you, but she's going to methodically get to her spots and shoot over the top. And Chechi did a good job, gave us double-digit points. Paige she's a 5-tooler, right? To steal a baseball term, she's a 5-tooler. She has all the skills and fundamentals. She may not be as flashy as Caitlin Clark, but if I was building a team, you talk about all these new expansion teams coming into the W, I'd take Paige over Caitlin. Maybe not for revenue, right? Not for revenue, but as far as basketball, building a team and building chemistry and just how she picks her spots, she's super impressive. She's super impressive. And the Wings, I think, have gotten better defensively with playing, they moved Carrington to the bench, playing the rookie, the 3rd round pick rookie, and the other rookie at the big spot. Forgive me for not pronouncing their names because I don't want to butcher them. But last night was about the French Connection. Not only did we see the debut of Rupair, right? Carla gives us, 14 points off the bench, big baskets, late game clutch baskets from Carla late, right? And then Janelle Salon, the best game she's had in her young W career, in my opinion, the most complete game. There's been games where she's scored more. And I've been critical. I've been questioning the amount of opportunity they've been giving her. And, it's very clear that they believe in her as, what would you call it? A pillar, a building point here for this young organization. And it was like, all right, well, I get defensively that she's not fully committed. She's young, and she wants to score the ball. But offensively, if all she's going to do is put up inefficient numbers, I was like, I don't know. I don't know how much I see. I don't know if I see it, right? I don't know. And then last night she shows up and looks like Lamar Odom. Where did all the playmaking just arrive? Is it the French Connection with the 3 girls on the team on the floor at the same time, putting the battery in their back? I don't know how close they are, but that was a different Janelle Salon last night, and it's super exciting. Right out of the gate, grab and go, skip pass to Tip Hayes for the 3. Second possession, she turns the corner into the paint, draws two, skip pass to the weak side, results in another Tip Hayes three, and she was playmaking all game long. The three, it may not look like you want it to as far as trajectory and arc, but when she hops into it, when she can get that hop into it, it really helps the arc on the shot. But I was just excited about the playmaking, being aware on the weak side defensively. She had a couple steals. She stuffed the she stuffed the stat sheet, and she created shots for others. She looked like a young player that you potentially could grow into the hub of your offense. And I hadn't seen any of that playmaking up until last night. And so I think that was the story of the game, to go along with Rupair and Carla chipping in. Let's talk about Ilana Rupair. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She makes her debut, 24 years old. She was originally drafted by the Las Vegas Aces, came over and played for the Atlanta Dream, and then went back to France. And, 6'4". She's got this, she looks young and she's thin up top. And then she's got these big wide hips, which I think bodes well for, holding positioning, setting screens, and the physicality that the bigs play with in the W. You can see really good hands, right? I think she makes quick decisions, and you saw the pick and pop and how effective that can be. The shot is pure. I think the question will be defensively for Rupair. You saw her get put in pick and rolls, and Dallas has some explosive guards. Again, the third round pick, is it Quinterly? Very quick, right? And then Enrique turning the corner. And so I think that's where, she may be a liability. We sent two on the ball on Paige all night, as well as Enrique coming off her pin downs and flares. And so that broke up the defense a little bit. But I think that moving forward without Kayla, listen, we understand the identity is going to be defense, hustle, toughness, right? But they're probably going to have to score more. I don't know if there's going to be these 65, 67 games. Kayla, you could argue is and was our best defender. And so in replacing her production and being our stopper, the offense is going to have to pick up some of that. I don't know if we can be the defensive team that we were with Kayla. And Rupair goes a long way with the three ball. Carla found the mid-ranger. Maybe that can get her going with her rhythm and her shot making. But all in all, man, an impressive comeback win, because it started off ugly. Dallas, they showed their youth down the stretch, right? The one rookie comes down and pumps up a three, and with like 90 seconds to go, Paige or Enrique doesn't touch the ball. And then down the stretch, that call, there's a loose ball to the corner, and Carrington boxes out Hayes, and Hayes just jumps over, and they called it on Carrington. It was nice to be on the right end of a bad whistle, because that was really, game altering, and down the stretch to go to the free throw line. And we shot 96% from the foul line. So that was big. We out rebounded them. But yeah, man, it just sucks about Kayla. It really does. I mean, you never want to hear about an injury, but the timing of it is just brutal for her in her career particularly. But they have the depth. And if these three young French girls can produce offensively, I think that will go a long way in making up for the defense and the energy that Kayla brought. And Kayla was scoring, right? She was scoring 16, 17 points. I don't want to dismiss that as well, but I think that they can make up for the offense. It's the defense. Does that mean more Leticia as a wing forward / defender? Kate Martin, CDNP last night. Coach's decision, did not play. So we'll see how Nakase navigates this, but it feels like they may have something brewing with these three French girls. They get the win. Connecticut Sun Sunday. That's another game you got to win. You got to beat Dallas. You got to beat Connecticut. The two or three bottom feeding teams, you got to get those, because it's so strong at the top, right? And there's very little parity, and there's only 13 teams. So you got to get the wins where you can, the ones you're supposed to at home against lesser opponents, and then you move forward. Be back with the Will Richard tape here soon on his summer league footage and why he will be such a good fit for the Warriors. And hopefully I'll be jumping on here with some sort of transactional news from this Warriors team here at some point. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.